let us begin. That's supposed to be humorous. Okay. And we are going to, if you have a strap, use a strap. If you have a towel, use a towel. Might be able to do this without, but you kind of need to hang on to something. So I'll just show it. And we are going to be, we could be sitting in this one, okay? Here, I'll show it with the strap, because many of you have a strap or at least a towel. And I see, Brian, you don't, but that's okay. So basically, I don't need a lot. And so I took this long strap, I folded it in half, I folded it again. And you make a halo. You make a halo, okay? So let's say that you have nothing. You could potentially go like so. It's much more fun when you have a strap, or because you get more. I don't know if John, do you have a strap out there on the deck? So now you could move your body. You could really shift and come forward. Inhale as you look upward, exhale as you come down, and maybe you're just kind of making a halo around you, or you're polishing your halo. Okay, so forward, up, and down, and up, and down, and it should feel really good to move. Taught to me by Lori Leonetti. So let's reverse, and I'm just moving around. You could just be center and move, but I feel like this invites you to move into your upper body. Let's see. Oh yeah, Wally wrote, Mark Twain rocked. And then Meredith said, agreed. I agree. It's like, he speaks to us now. He is, if you are ever feeling down, open up a Twain book. My goodness. I mean, he has such insight, such humor, such wisdom. Okay, and release. So hands now to shoulders. And if you wanted to do these standing, you're going to touch your elbows touch, elbows come up, elbows out to the sides, and continue. So once again, you could be coming down and then up. Inhale as the elbows come up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. There's a bunch of road work going on inside, outside of the condo. I'm on the 3rd floor, but it's ground floor, but it's loud. You may or may not hear it because I have my earbuds in, but that's what's going on. We're reversing. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, and inhale up. A few more times. Good. And finally, release. So when you talk about heart chakra, a lot of it is the shoulder work going on. All right, so we're going to come onto our backs. So I'll go back on the mat. As you come onto your backs, it just kind of depends on you. There are 2 ways to do this. We're going to do perhaps both ways. We're going to start out where you have no props. You pull right knee to chest. Pulling in, you can lift your head, bring your head to your knee, and release. Other side, draw left knee to chest, lift your head, active through the right leg, breathe in, exhale, and release. All right. Now, it would just be a repeat of what you did, or maybe you have a block, and you could always place a block under your sacrum. It's pretty high on your sacrum, okay? So same thing, you're gonna pull knee to chest. The difference is if you have the block, you feel like you could pivot. It's kind of cool. You could pivot more. And you're extending your left leg. And so I have to make more of an effort to keep the leg straight and to get the heel down. It might hover above the floor or down. And I know not everyone has a block. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And then we'll do the other side. Hugging knee to chest, extending the right leg, flexing the ankle, hugging knee in, and that a nice idea of opening your hip. Breath in, exhale, and release. Now we're holding the foot, and your knee is pointed out to the side, hugging. And so again, if you didn't have the block under you, it's the same. It's half lotus. And as you're here, knee not pointing in towards me, but out towards the screen in my case. Breathe in. So it might be, if you're on a block, that one leg is extended, hovering above floor, or maybe down. All right, let's do the other. All of us coming to half lotus, extending, stretching through one leg. Breath in, stretching to the outside hip, elbows bent, breathing. And exhale. And release. Now, no more block, take it away. And we're going to come to happy baby, reaching for both feet, stretching your low back. See that you have like a 90-degree bend at your knees. Okay, good. Recorded. And breathing. Making sure. All right. So from here, feet pressing down, we have bridge. Now, what I'm going to suggest is let's do like up, down, maybe 5 times. And then the 5th time we'll stay up. You can have your elbows bent. So it's a nice way of loosening the back, also getting the upper spine to release. Lower on the exhalation. Inhale and press up. That would be number 2. And be sure that you're not looking at the screen anymore. You're looking up at the ceiling, or John and Shelley looking up at the sky. It's so nice. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Now we got our last one. So you're going to come up, clasp hands behind you, tuck shoulders underneath you, lift, lift, reach up, navel reaching upward. Wonderful. Breath in. Exhale. And breath in. Exhale. And lower. So once again, happy baby, reaching for your outside feet, knees are wide, stretching your low back. You could rock slightly, side, side, rocking, side, side. Good work. Okay. So from here, it's kind of a different kind of movement. So you're on your side, and if you wanted to rest your head on a blanket, you may do that. I'm just going to rest my head on my arm. And basically, knees could be bent. Lower leg straighten, top knee. And all you're going to do is circle, go out as far as you can, circle, circle. So it's a nice way to work into your hip joint. Your knee can actually come down towards the floor, up as high as you can, make your circle big. Yeah. And then reverse the direction. So this is really nice, just kind of getting synovial fluid to move into your hip joints, get mobility, make a big circle. Yeah. All right. And then we come to a quad stretch. So you might find that you get more out of being on your side. This is more, actually, believe it or not, a modification. Or maybe you don't get much out of this, so you come onto your belly and then you reach. And we have an all levels class, so you might say, oh yeah, I need to grab both for me to feel the stretch. So rest your forehead down, get your heels close into the glutes, press your pelvis down. If you've been active, and most of us are with the nicer weather, you're probably feeling this a lot. Breathing in, exhale. While you're on your belly, let's come on to the elbows, and you're in Sphinx. Maybe you could bring your feet closer in together, press your thighs down, your elbows and your hands down. Breathing in, exhale, and we're going to switch the other side. Now I am moving so that I can so I can really, face you and I can watch you because some of you still have your videos on. This is really cool. Okay, I can see if you're taking breaks, having snacks. I hope not. All right, so lower leg is straightened and maybe you need your hand to help support you. So you go up as high as you can, out to the side, and make this a big circle. This is good for your hip joint. Maximize the movement. Warm up your joints. Yep. We had, during my training so many years ago, I took notes. I have copious notes. Notebooks and notebooks filled with these notes. And we did like a whole section on warm-ups, yoga warm-ups. And there's like, I don't know, I think I tried it once. It's sort of like, I had to break it up over 2 days. It's like 12 hours worth of warm-ups. Okay, and then, so we do like the 12-hour marathon warm-up. That would be something. Okay, come up. Nobody would show up. Come up. It could be like an open house. You show up, you do a few, you go out, you have your lunch, come back, do more warm-ups. The warm-up day. Okay, come on up. And, oh, good. Just kind of move. And who's getting little clicks in the hip, or is it kind of smooth? Yeah. Do the hip joints feel different? Sometimes they do. Sometimes, there's some that just one moves nicely, the other one maybe not. So not only does your hip benefit, but your knee benefits. Okay, so it's like nice warm up. Let's grab a hold of the foot. So maybe that's where you need to be if your quads are tight and it's hard for you to hold, or you come onto your belly and you can lower. Grab hold. And some of you will say, well, I'm going to grab hold of both, okay? In which case, forehead is down. Now, some are even more open. Often I like more of a blanket underneath me, but you could, who knows, maybe you're kicking back. Breathe in. Exhale. Kicking, reaching. And then we're going to release. Rest your forehead down for a moment, and then come right onto your elbows. So we're in Sphinx. So by contrast, Sphinx feels pretty simple, right? Pretty simple, but you can work this pose. Your feet can be together. They don't have to be, they can be apart. Press tops of the feet down, press your elbows down, press your hands down. And then again, some can go deeper, in which case you extend your arms. Breathe in. Exhale. Maybe you can look up. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Come down. Rest your forehead down. Separate the knees and bend your knees. Your knees are as wide as the mat. Forehead down, and you have the back windshield wiper. Back and forth. Now, you want to move your pelvis. And if you're like me and running into furniture, you have to move so that you really are free to go back and forth. Head is down, knees are wide, feet going side to side. Can your feet touch down? Maybe sometimes it touch down on one side, not the other. Is it possible? Flex ankles and reach, and reach, and reach. Good. Finally, we're going to come back and press back to child's pose. So from child's pose, take a moment to stretch. Hands back by the heels, head down, and breathe. Deep breath in. Exhale. So you're, the kind of feeling the first 16 minutes or so of your session, and how easily it is to like kind of warm up on a warm day. That's kind of nice. Doesn't take much because we come in already warm. Our bodies are warm, as opposed to winter months where we have to work really hard to kind of generate the heat. All right. So from here, I'm going to come right onto hands and knees and round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Tuck your belly in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. So I want to do dolphin, and there's some strength involved here, right? So if you ever wanted to like modify, sometimes it's like clasping hands, sometimes just going back to downward facing dog. So if you can, think of this, your hands are one block width apart. I'm not going to keep my block in place, but that's something I'm aiming for. And then you extend. And hamstrings, say hello to your hamstrings. Okay, so you're pedaling back and forth, and you might find that maybe with the heat and this is not easy, right? So maybe you feel like, okay, you're building up even more heat here. So walk your feet back and come to plank, and make sure that your shoulders are hovering over elbows. If you need to, your knees can come down, but if you can, extend. Breath in, exhale, take your pelvis up. Walk your feet closer in. Let your tailbone come up more. Breathing in, exhale, walk your feet back. Come to plank. Breath in, exhale, bring your pelvis up. I'm trying to make it sound really fun. Bring your pelvis up. And then from here, press. Now we're going to take the right leg up. Keep your pelvis squared. You can do this. Breath in, exhale. I want to do this fresh off when we first start, so we still have lots of energy, okay? Let's do the other side. The other leg comes up now. Pelvis squared. Engage your core. Square your pelvis. Straighten the leg in the air. You could even point the toes. Good. Lower. Bring your knees down. Woo, bring your hands back by your feet, like your shoulders slump forward, head dropping down, and breathe. Deep breath in, exhale. All right. So downward facing dog, you kind of feel like it doesn't take much, and you sort of, you're used to all that power pushing in the previous pose, so you go pretty far in this one. And then from here, we'll walk or spring forward. So I keep thinking about, I'm thinking about John outside and Shelley outside, and just how wonderful that is, and how that beckons for some standing poses, right? And then, but here you are in your forward bend, and soften your knees, wrap your arms around your legs, like hug your legs, breathing in, exhale. Bend the knees, reach up, extend, 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 palms touch, and hands to heart center. Good work, good work. So if you're indoors like I am, you're just going to be facing a window, definitely face a window for tree, all right? So we'll press up, and what I'm thinking is poses in twos. I'm thinking of, just like things come in twos here, okay? So reach, bring your foot up. If you have, you're looking out a window, you're trying to find a tree to connect to. If you're outside, really easy to just focus on something amazing in front of you. Shoulders want to hike up, draw the shoulders down. If you're not certain, you can always bend the elbows. And then well, oh yeah, my shoulders are down. Now I extend the arms. And breathe. My hands, my fingers, you can't see my hands, my fingers are spread wide. They are the leaves of this tree reaching for sunlight. Breath in. Exhale. So it goes to like a figure 4, and I drop down. So I want to make sure, it's like chair pose in terms of how strongly you have to work. Hands could be on pelvis, arms could be forward, or arms are up, and breathe. So it's like you're, can I do that? Sitting in an invisible chair. Flex your right ankle, breathe in. Exhale. Some of you can go a little further. It means you bring your hands down. You're really trying to extend your spine, touching down. Ooh, that's a good hip stretch. Say hello to your right hip, and press on up and come to mountain. Breath in. Exhale. Counter poses are so important. You could, you just come into like a modified squat, or you come all the way down into your squat. Lengthen the spine. Breath in. Exhale. Anchor your heels down. Some of you can bring your feet even closer in than I can. which is great. Use your hands to press up. Vrikshasana, side 2. Yeah, release and relief. And yoga, and if all else fails, follow the advice of Mark Twain. Breathing in, elbows open, and extend. You can reach the arms out to a T, and remember your fingers are spread wide. And, you know, take time to enjoy your breath. Remember that, like, if it helps you, press your shoulders down your back, extend. Heart center, sort of like you imagine that you beam, you have beaming energy extending from heart center, center of love, compassion, kindness, generosity. It's a big one. Imagine if, now there's a heart IQ, you know that. Imagine if a lot of value was put on heart IQ. Isn't that nice? Breathing in, exhale. All right, so you're going to take your foot over like that, 4, and then flex and press down. So again, you might say, oh, hands to heart, or arms are coming forward, drop down, drop down, drop down. Breathing, inhale like you're sitting into like some invisible chair. Breathing in, exhale. Some of you can go a little deeper, reaching down. Make sure your left ankle is flexed. Breathing in, exhale, saying hello to your left hip, and then press on up and release. We have a squat. So as you come to your squat, you're dropping down. Maybe you need to modify, or lower, 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 stretching into your back. And breathe. Yeah. Focus is heart center. So how can I, even in this, when I say that's like, whoa, heart center, extending. Yeah. And coming on up and breathe. Let's grab hold of our strap once again, or towel, whatever works. That's the beauty of yoga at home. There's always something, right? Bathrobe belt, or a regular belt. So this is my right arm coming over and left hand reaching. And as I'm here, I'm going to shift side, 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 side. So shoulder flossing, side, side. Yeah. So really working into the shoulders. What I'm doing is I'm pulling up with my right arm, pulling down with my left simultaneously. All right. So come through center. If your right arm is up, then your left foot steps forward, right foot steps back, and you're going to really stomp onto that right leg and lengthen. I don't want you to sink into your low back. You want to lift up through heart center, look upward, breath in, exhale. It's all about just opening the heart center in the shoulder area. Imagine that your arms are a bow, and the bow is moving back, like your bow is even more pronounced. And then release and doing second side. So left arm up in the air, right hand reaches from below, and we go side, 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 side. And it is easy to sink into the low back. You can tell the difference. It doesn't feel so good. So engage your core and lift from your upper body, moving side, side, shoulder flossing. Yeah. Good. And then from here, so if your left arm is up, your left foot will step back. Is that right? Yep. And then lean back. So there's a lot of weight on your left heel. Arms are moving back. Your arms might get a little tired because you're doing a pulling action and moving the arms away from the back. Lift your heart center. Breath in. Exhale. and release, come out. So a counter pose on this is to take your hands behind your head. So you just clasp your hands behind your head, tuck your chin towards chest. You don't need much here. You're going to gently push down with your hands, gently push up with your head. So you're really opening, you're releasing the back of the neck. Good work. Great. And then we'll go wide. So side bends are pretty amazing for these, for shoulders and heart chakra. So we'll go to extended side angle, left foot reaching out. Some of you will be binding. And if you're like, oh, I don't bind, it's okay. You can be in this pose, or you can maybe bind using a strap. So if you want to bind, if you're like, I don't even know what we're doing, have a strap handy. Okay. Bend your left knee. You could go the other way also. But if we're on the same page, it's easier to kind of follow along. So extend your right arm and get this nice extension. Now, my feeling is that if you are modifying the pose already, probably wrapping is going to be tough, right? And again, my feeling is that if you're able to reach down and your arm is extended, probably wrapping is more available, right? So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you modify and you're able to reach. So take your right arm back. You'll never know until you try. And if you're using a strap, your right hand is holding the strap, okay? For me to connect, I pitch my weight forward, I find the arm, and then I come back. I have this holding, and I'm going to bend my left knee a little more, roll the shoulder back. You can see heart opening, breathing in. Exhale, pop, 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 come out, and release. I'm almost certain you heard my back popping. I don't know if the mics picked that up. It's kind of embarrassing, but I got some really cool pops on that. We're going to come back to that side, okay? Let's do second side. So right foot leading the way, right knee bending, extending the arms. And again, you might say, wow, this is it. Perhaps hand comes down. Yeah, lengthen your spine, nice. And again, notice if you're forward, are you able to move back? But for the wrapping, I do move forward. So my left hand comes from behind. My right hand comes through. It's gonna look for the other arm. Whoop, there we go. Once you have the connection, then you start to move back, roll left shoulder back. I'm trying to sharpen the bend, the right angle bend of the right knee, and breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And let's come out. So, yep, we're going to do it again. But before we do it again, we're going to come forward and stand for a moment in mountain. Hands are to heart center. Breath in. Exhale. Taking hold of your strap again. If you prefer to clasp hands, that will work. I don't need much space. I'm going to say like maybe 4 to 6 inches between the hands. And again, if you prefer to clasp hands, this will work. So my shoulders want to move forward. I'm going to roll them back. They want to move forward. I want to roll them back. So just see, can you do that? Can you slump forward? And can you correct? Do that again. Slump forward on purpose, correct, and look up. Lift your heart center. Now, bend your knees, keep your shoulders open, lower your head, and take your arms up. You can keep your knees slightly bent, or you can straighten. Just don't lock out. Lower your head. Imagine your head is going to reach your knees. Breath in. Exhale. Soften the knees. Come on up. And release. I think that might help a little bit. We're also going to do a twist, and we're coming back to that wrapping. So we'll see how this all works. Right foot forward, left foot back, left hand down, right arm up. Now, you know, there are 3 steps along the way. I mean, this can all be done with the knee bend. One would be my hand is where it is on the inside of the foot. The other is prayer balance. And believe it or not, the third, the most challenging, is to take your arm down. And Julie Newcomb does this so beautifully. I can do it, but it's very difficult to breathe. So I'd rather be in prayer balance. Breath in, exhale. Release, come forward. Take a moment to be in your forward fold. Soften the knees, come up, reach the arms up into the air. Breath in, arch back. Let's do second side. Your right foot steps back and right hand comes down. So you're in the lunge. So you determine which one will it be for you. Which twist will it be? Knee up, knee down. Do what you did on side one. And breathe. And you know, gratitude. Gratitude, I think, is very connected with heart center. Gratitude for what is possible, for what I can do. Gratitude to my feet that carry me, my legs, my knees, my pelvis, you know, just a sense of awe and gratitude for what, you know, how your body is right now. Breathing in, exhale. We're coming out. We're going to step forward, unravel the spine, look ahead of you, stretch out, lengthen out, soften the knees, come up, reach the arms up into the air, and hands to heart center. So we'll go back to the extended side angle. And, you know, you might say, oh, that again, you know, so maybe it's a little different, I hope. So I start with my left. I'm going to bend my knee. I'm going to extend, experience the stretch. And maybe you're like, you know, I don't need to bind my arms. Maybe this is it. Or binding. And sometimes going into this the second time around, you feel that you have more opening. Yeah, I do. I feel a little different here. My back's not popping this time. Breath in. Exhale. And breath in. Exhale. Come up. Come through center. Feet are squared, facing forward. Hands onto your thighs. Press back, bring your hands down. And then walk your hands forward. Lengthen out your spine. Breath in. Exhale. Hands sweep onto the low back. Come up. And second side. Right foot turns. Right knee bending. You know, and it might be that not much changes, or maybe you feel like you have, I don't know, some doors opened up for you here. Breathing in. Exhale, maybe enjoying the side bend movement. And some will try. So what I find is I don't have to pitch my weight forward as much, and I can really roll my shoulder back a little more warmed up. Breath in. Exhale. Okay, and come on up. Good. Another forward fold. Feet are squared, and we come forward. So pressing your thighs back, take your hands down, and then walk your hands forward. Lower your head, create length. Remember not to let your heels come off the mat or the floor or your deck. Breathe in, or the dock. Beautiful. And come on up. Good work. And then walk your feet closer in together. So for this next one, it is, just so you can see it, it's three-legged dog. But I first want to do it and you have the green light. If you want to work three-legged dog from downward facing dog, go ahead. We're going to go there next. but I thought it's kind of fun to work with a surface. If you have a surface, like I'm thinking on the dock, John, there's probably not a surface for you, so you might have to go right into down three-legged dog. Definitely, like Shelly's got the deck, the railing. Okay, at home, you got furniture, you have surfaces, you have a wall maybe. I'm gonna use a sofa. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm coming over into, looks like downward facing dog from standing. Let's all, maybe you're really in downward facing dog, take your right leg up and open the hip. Yep, so it looks a little bit like half moon. Bend your knee, send your knee up. It feels like you're going into the splits. What's nice is that if you're not in downward facing dog, there's not much weight on your hands, okay? Come out and let's do the second side. So the feet meet, left leg comes up, open the hip to the left, bend your left knee, send your knee up to the sky, turn, turn, turn. Right inside thigh talking to you, right hamstring talking to you, not much weight on your hands. Breathe in, exhale, send your knee up high, release, feet are together, and if you were standing, come to mountain. If you were in downward facing dog, you could come to child's pose. Breathe in, exhale. So that has an element of an opening, okay? So we're gonna come to downward facing dog and try that. If you preferred having your hands on a surface, then maybe you're like, I'm standing here, this works out well. So here we go. And you're in downward facing dog. When I see people do this, I notice like they're thinking about bending the knee right away. Let's not bend the knee right away. Let's take the right leg straight up, open the hip, don't bend your knee right away, and lower your head. Yeah, so it's not looking over the arm, but under. And then maybe your left heel comes down. Now bend your right knee, send it up to the sky. Some of you are very limber, and you might say, woo, you could step back, right foot behind the other, and you press up into like a back bend, reaching, extending, lower, and then other side, left leg comes up, open the hip, and don't be in a big hurry to bend the knee. Straighten the leg as best you can. Now bend the knee. Send the knee up to the sky. Send your right heel down. Some will stay here. Some will step, right foot behind the other, reach up and come into like a back bend. Breathing in. Exhale. Let's all come out. And once you come out, we are coming onto the hands and knees. Press back, rest your hands back, lower your head, and breathe. Exhale. Threading the needle on your back is the modification for pigeon. Maybe you're okay with pigeon. I really think that props help a lot in pigeon if it's just a hard one for you. Anyway, so you might be on your back, threading the needle, or taking your right knee forward. You can come into it from hands and knees or downward facing dog. But the modification is that you would bring a block under, if that's my right knee forward, under the right buttock. And wherever you're at, go ahead and lift, lift, lift up. And lower, come onto your elbows, lower your head, and breathe. Deep breath in, exhale. So if you were lying on your back doing the modification of threading the needle, you're going to be coming up to sitting, and we're all going to go into half spinal twist. So that means I lean to my right, my left leg comes up and over, left leg is on top. And if I face you, I'm like this, that's my left leg on top. My right arm is up in the air, your right arm is up in the air, and you have elbow to knee. Okay, so if I turn this way, it's a different kind of twist, right? It's not wrong, it's a different kind of twist. But if I go against my knee, it actually applies more pressure to my abdominal organs and my digestive organs. So I get like a bigger bang for my buck. I get more out of the pose, right? So lengthen the spine, more benefits. Yeah. And look to the back wall and breathe. One more breath here. Inhale, see if you can really push your left foot into the mat. Release. Well, let's just turn the other way and see how different it is. You see, it's still a great twist, but it's just you're not pushing against something, right? And you're going to release, and either you'll come to, maybe you can come to steer, one knee over the other. And if that's impossible, then you're sitting cross-legged, okay? So you went from half spinal twist to steer, one knee over the other. Let's see what is possible. I want you to, you know your body. You have the inner teacher within telling you what the right way to do. So that's my left leg on top. My opposite arm comes up. There's a lot of opposites here. Left knee on top, right arm up. And then connect. Maybe you need your strap to connect your hands. And here you are. Instead of collapsing, lengthening, instead of sinking to the left, upright. Breath in, exhale. So, it's like sometimes that strap is a million miles away. It's worth it. It's worth it to take hold. It's worth it. Yep, you got it. That's nice. Thanks, Brian. It's so nice just looking at you. Yeah. So breathing in. Exhale. So you can stay like this. Or I was going to say releasing and trying to lower your head. And it might be like, don't go that way. Or maybe you can bring your head towards your knee. Let's release. Let's extend. Go wide now. Oh, we have a whole other side to do. So I can keep watching the time. Make sure I don't short myself of time. So as we're here, lowering, bringing your head downward, push out through the heels, breathe in, exhale, breath in, exhale, let's come on up. So some are coming onto their backs to thread the needle, or you might be coming right onto hands and knees. Some do this from downward facing dog. It's going to be the left leg that comes forward for pigeon, okay? So I like to lift. I didn't do this on the other side, but I'm doing it here. Knee comes forward. I'm going to extend the back leg. Look ahead of you, stretch, look upward. Exhale, lower. Lowering, lower your head and breathe. Just follow your breath, be present. Good. We're going to start to press up, lengthen. So if you are on your backs, go ahead and start to make your way up to sitting, and it's half spinal twist. So this time it's going to be your right leg on top. Your right leg is going to be on top of the other. It's a twist, so it's like over the other, I should say. Sitting bones are down, right foot anchoring down, left arm up into the air, reach up, take a breath in, and twist, elbow to knee. And there you go, turning. So it could be what I call a quarter twist, or maybe, it's truly the half spinal twist, looking back. And it's like that pressure against your abdominal wall as you twist. And that's a wonderful thing happening, because it allows you to really reap the benefits of the pose, cleansing, toning, stimulating the function of the internal organs, especially the digestive organs and eliminatory organs. Breathing in, exhale. And breath in and exhale. You're going to release, come out. Now, from this, some of you are going to sit regular cross-legged. Maybe that's safest on your knees or your hip joints. And then some will come to steer, Gomukhasana. I have a little trick, and one is that you could sit on a block, and it makes life so much easier. Okay, so anyways, you know you have these little tricks. All right. So I'm really trying to get my knee over knee. I would really like my legs to both be forward. One of my legs is tucked back. I'm trying. No, it's the best I can do. And then whichever leg's on top, opposite arm. That's my right leg, my left arm. And then reach. See if you can connect. Use your straps if you need to. Connect your hands. Yep, connect. And then once you connect, look forward instead of looking down. Don't sink. And breathe. The elbow that is up in the air is really trying to point up. I mean, sometimes it's a little out to the side. It's really trying to point skyward. Breathing in. Exhale. Breath in. Exhale. We are ready to release, and we're going to go wide. All right, so it's exact opposite. You just worked your outer hips, now you work your inner thighs. Yeah, so we go wide, go as wide as you can. Once again, sometimes blocks are handy because you can lean into them, or start to come forward, push out through the heel, lower, 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 bring your head down and breathe. Deep breath in and exhale. Try to elongate your back, push out through the heels. We're going to come over to a side bend movement, reaching over to the side, taking your arm up, extend, extend, lengthen. So instead of dropping down, I want to open. Right? Either I'm looking ahead, and some people like to look up. I kind of look ahead of me and go into a nice side bend movement. Breathing in, exhale. Breath in, exhale. Come up. I don't have a second side. Coming over, reach the arm up, breathe in, exhale over, relief, release, release, and relief. They go hand in hand, and they go very beautifully with your yoga practice. Nice stretch to your side ribs. Let's release. Come on out. Good work. So we bring the legs together. We're going to shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. We're going to come onto our backs, pull knees into chest, and just take a moment here to really stretch in, like really opening up your back. So there's openings. Now, heart center again. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to come into bridge and see if there's any changes. Okay, so you're pressing up in your bridge. This time we'll hold, clasp hands, tuck shoulders underneath you, lift your heart center. Notice any changes. Yep, big changes. There's just more flexibility, overall flexibility of spine. You're going to lower, and to release, we'll just pull knees into chest. I would love to do fish pose. Now, some of you have a block, and instead of, if fish doesn't work for you, you could always do a floating bridge, okay? If you don't even have a block, then you could always do a twist, okay? If you are following along, maybe you'll bring the block under your upper back and lower your head, extend your legs, take arms up overhead, and you have fish, Matsyasana. Some do this without a prop, so you know the pose without the prop, which I will show because not everybody has blocks, in which case you slip your hands under your pelvis, you push elbows in, you arch your back and bring the top of your head down. And there you are in your bridge, in your fish pose, Matsyasana, breathing in. Exhale. Now, let me tell you, as you're in this pose, whether it's lying over a block or in fish pose without any block, I just want to mention that your eyes are open because you're a fish. Fish have their eyes open, right? And I'm going to talk about something later. I don't want you to be in here forever. You're going to come out and you're going to, some of you have it in you. You might say, wow, where's that back bend? Where's that full wheel pose? So maybe you will add the wheel pose. And others are like, I'm done. I'm ready to deeply relax. An image came to mind, which I would like to share as either you're going into your wheel or you're starting to deeply relax. And it is in South India. There's this amazing temple called Meenakshi Temple. And Badra couldn't make it today. She emailed me she couldn't make it today, but maybe she'll do a practice later and maybe she'll be able to see this and hear this. But she knows this temple. We talked about it. So it's called Meenakshi, and it's a women's temple. Men can go, and men do go, but it's dedicated to the goddess Meenakshi, she's called the fisheye because she never closes her eyes. She's the protector of women, and she's always vigilant and always keeping an eye for women's safety. And so because of her big job, her eyes are always open. She might sleep, maybe she'll close one eye, but there's always an eye. So they call her fish eye. She has the eyes of a fish. And because of that, she's able to be vigilant 24/7. The temple is amazing because it's not just like a holy place of worship. It's also a social place. It's a place where people eat and they go to feel cool because the temples are designed to be very cool. They're made of stone. There's lots of shade. So anyways, that reminded me of Meenakshi, fisheye, and a temple dedicated to women. It's very sweet. So as you lie on your back, visualize that you gave your stress wings. Give your stress wings and let the stress fly away. And it's a great feeling. You are stress-free. You have experienced release and relief. And sometimes we do. We carry burdens, and we don't have to. Sometimes we just have to put down our burdens and the emotional pain that we carry. Sometimes you just have to put it down. Practice your yoga. Experience what it is to be free. Experience what it is to release and to find relief. I do believe yoga is kind of an unlearning. It's like everything we've learned, you sort of unlearn. You let it go. It's kind of like what Thich Nhat Hanh said. And in letting go of what we know, we learn more. We create space to take more in. So he says we have to continue to learn and be open. We have to be ready to release our knowledge in order to come to a higher understanding of reality. So as you're here, immersing yourself in this new way of existing, a new way to be. Immersing yourself in stillness, in what we call samtosha in Sanskrit, contentedness, samtosha, and breathe. Notice your surroundings, whether you are actually in your home inside with windows open on this fine day, or you're outside on your deck, or you're on a dock of a lake somewhere in the Midwest, and just taking a moment to feel your amazing surroundings. Whether your shelter is your roof or the big blue sky, just feel very much a part of this. And I would like you to feel a part of this beautiful online yoga community. You do not practice alone. You have this beautiful community. We're going to bend the knees, roll to one side, and we'll take your time. But when you are ready, you could turn your audio on and put yourself, if you didn't have gallery view, you could have it. And what are we, 25 of us now? And you might have 2 pages. You might have to turn so you see 2 pages. Yeah. Hi, Sadie. Sherry, Mark. I didn't see Mark earlier. So nice. Mm-hmm. Hello, Gio. Hello, Marisa. Yeah. Hi, Diane. Nice. Yeah, so somebody told me, she said, so I live at Green Lake and I'm facing the lake and she's on the other side. I'm in Green Lake and she's in Wallingford. And she says, when we Om, when we do the Facebook, she does Facebook classes with me. When we Om, she feels like our Om and my Om meet across the lake. And I thought, I love that. I love that. So how about if all our Oms sort of meet somewhere? Yeah.
I was at the lake yesterday, at the Green Lake. I walked in there, yeah.
Oh, did you wave at me?
And I know I passed your place, but
yeah,
it was 10 o'clock. You probably were not there.
Oh, PM or AM? No, I was here. I was here. Okay, yeah, you wouldn't be walking PM. AM, I was here. So let's begin. We'll end our session with our Om. So taking a nice breath in as you're ready and let our Oms travel across. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.